Rahm Emanuel used the R word, which is, of course, outrageous, when describing liberals. Funny enough, he said they were effing R word when they decided to attack conservative Democrats. And this was in a meeting of liberal activists, etc. This made it into the Wall Street Journal, and, it got some decent play, and people were talking about how liberals are mad at Rahm Emanuel and he's mad at liberals, so it was okay. Now, over the last couple of days, it's exploded. That article is now everywhere. Why? Because Sarah Palin is upset. She said that this was outrageous and offensive, and that Obama should immediately fire Rahm Emanuel. If he had used the N-word, would anybody tolerate it? But instead he used the R-word, and that is just simply unacceptable, to attack God's children with Down syndrome. Like, that's what, look, I got no love for Rahm Emanuel whatsoever. The one slight upside of this story for me is I was quoted in that article, and I've been quoted by almost every media organization since then because of that quote, right? And my quote was, Rahm Emanuel is Barack Obama's Dick Cheney. So I got no love for Rahm Emanuel. But he was not attacking kids with Down syndrome. That's R word to say that. Can I say R word in saying it? I get confused. I'm not sure. Anyway, so since the conservatives are upset, and since Sarah Palin is talking, and you doing your usual tactics of, look at me, Daddy, look at me, I'm over here, I'm causing controversy. Somebody pay me. Okay, because she gets all this hype, and then she gets $100,000 per speech from those poor some of my bitches at the Tea Parties. All right, anyway, so now that Rahm's in trouble, because if liberals attack him, he's not in any trouble. If conservatives attack him, then we got trouble. He has to go and do an apology tour. You know how if you insult black Americans, you got to go and apologize to the head of the NAACP, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, and you got to make the rounds, right? So now, apparently, there are new rounds if you insult kids with, all of a sudden, I'm like, how do I say it? Right? With developmental problems. Okay, there, I found a way. So I don't want to make the apology tour. So first, what Rahm Emanuel did was he apologized to Tim Shriver of the Special Olympics. And that was apparently not enough. And so what happened was two things happened. One, Tim Shriver's office said, look, I don't represent all kids with developmental problems, so I don't accept the apology. So he's like, damn, that didn't work. And then all the other the organizations that deal with basically, kids with disabilities, then came out and said, well, he's got to apologize to us too, because if he doesn't, then we don't accept his apology either. In fact, Peter Burns, the head of the advocacy group called the ARC, said that these private apologies to the Special Olympics doesn't cut it. He needs to go kiss everybody's ring. Okay. So then Rahm Emanuel went to, and this is the update from today, Andrew Imparato, president of the American Association of People with Disabilities, Hannah Jacobs, parent of a disabled child, two so-called self-advocates, Julie Petty and Ricardo Thornton. I don't know how they even found these people. They're like, do you have a kid with this? Okay, can I apologize to you? Okay. And then, of course, to Peter Burns, too, because he was crying about it. So he does the apology tour, and now the second update from today is it's okay. He has been pardoned. All those groups came out and said, okay, now that our ring has been kissed and we've got the proper Al Sharpton treatment, now you are pardoned. Man, we live in a goofy, goofy world. And then a couple of listeners emailed me, and I saw a comment on YouTube, too. They said, hey, wait a minute. Do you remember what the Bristol's baby daddy, Levi Johnston, accused Sarah Palin of? He said in an interview that she called her own child with Down syndrome her retarded baby. Wait a minute. Okay, now look, you don't know. Maybe Levi's making it up, right? And he was trying to grab attention too, right? So if that's why we can't go ballistic. But if Levi's right, then Sarah Palin is the world's worst hypocrite. I mean, we already knew 800 other problems with her. We already knew she was a hypocrite. But that's it. She would officially win the prize as the world's worst hypocrite. So the one other upside from this whole story and this nonsense is that the rest of the media read that Wall Street Journal article, and they're like, wait, liberals don't like Rahm Emanuel? To which, of course, I say, of course. Like, they keep coming to me and asking me, because I was quoted in the article, saying, why don't you guys like him? Because he never does anything liberal. All he ever does is push for the conservative side within the Obama administration. In fact, he actively tries to shut out other progressive voices. He kept Howard Dean out of the administration, according to all reports. He pushed against the public option, against Medicare buy-in, in favor of all those deals that they made with the insurance companies, the drug companies, etc. And he lost the elections. He was supposed to be a political genius. Instead, he didn't get any health care reform, and he lost in, Virginia and New Jersey. But much more importantly, in the Senate, he lost in Massachusetts. So he's a failure, and he's against progressives. So why would we be in favor of him? And so that story got out. People were like, really? Wow, we didn't know that. Well, now, ironically, partly thanks to Sarah Palin, it's a crazy world out there. It really is. This country's nuts. Because if you're with like 60% of Americans who are center-left, progressive, liberal, you call them whatever you want to call them, okay? Nobody pays any attention to you. You can scream at the top of your lungs, nobody gives a damn, right? I was amazed that the article got some hype, just a little bit of hype, before Sarah Palin stepped in. But if you're on the right-wing side, you have this enormous megaphone. The minute you say anything,
Rahm Emanuel used the R word. He is evil.
And everybody goes ballistic over it. The disparity is mind-numbing.